Welcome back everyone, where I monetize. In today's video, we're going to be going over a few things. I got to kind of make this short, and I'm not super prepared for this video, but I'm going golfing today. I wanted to get something out before the day gets started. So Bitcoin is sitting at just under $30,000. It has bounced back a little bit here. It saw $25,000. The low came in, let's see here, the low came in at $25,338. And then it has bounced off of that. So if we look at that from a percentage point, where would that put us? Let me go ahead and make some adjustments here on my chart. Actually, where are my indicators? Shit. Welcome back everyone, where I monetize here. In today's video, we're going over the price of Bitcoin. I'm going to tell you about a recent loss that I had with a very poor decision that I made. Also going to be talking about how this crash in Luna compares to the BitConnect crash. And just going over some other things and thought processes on if we're going lower. Going to be making a prediction today on if I believe that we are going lower and how long until Bitcoin makes new all-time highs. So Bitcoin is sitting at just under $30,000. It has recovered a little bit here. This right here, let me go to the hourly chart. So Bitcoin did hit, let's see, the low of this candle came in at 25,338. So by looking at this, what you need to notice is that this happened at 3 a.m. when most of you were probably sleeping. I had just fallen asleep. I had a hard time falling asleep last night. I didn't fall asleep till about 2:30. So shortly after that, like, the price that you want on Bitcoin is going to probably happen while you're sleeping. And that's why I've recommended in previous videos to have your buy order set, to have your funds lined up, have your buy order set on multiple exchanges, Coinbase, Gemini, Kraken, even Vault, whatever exchanges you want to use. And I have links down below for all of those, because you will not be ready when you actually want to buy. Okay, so since the bottom here, let's look at, not the date range, I want to see the price range here, from here up to here. So Bitcoin is actually already up 17% from the low that came in at 3 a.m. So it hasn't even been 12 hours and Bitcoin is up 17%. Is this capitulation? Potentially. But I actually think there's a possibility that we go lower. I think more pain probably needs to be felt. So Ethereum is sitting at just over $2,000. I'm going to zoom out to the daily chart here on Bitcoin, which I would anticipate maybe tomorrow also printing a down day and then maybe a little bit of relief. I mean, I guess we are due for some relief, but we've already seen that relief on the bottom of 17%. So what I want to actually do is I want to go back to March of 2020, okay? Some of you may remember Bitcoin fell to $3,000, okay? And that was when the whole pandemic kind of started. So let's go ahead and find that $3,000 day, and let's see how fast and how much, from a percentage perspective, Bitcoin recovered off of that low. So just to kind of give you guys an idea, honestly, this day, I thought that the end was potentially near for Bitcoin. So this right here, the low came in on March 13th of 38.58, okay? And I need to zoom in a little bit better here to see. So off the low of that candle, Bitcoin actually rose 55%. So the spread on that single day was 55%, okay? And then we could see here that Bitcoin rose 82% and about from the 13th over to like the 25th. So about 12 days later, it was already up 82%. But we're talking different numbers here, right? So from Bitcoin going from like $3,800 up here to like $7,000, it happens a lot easier than Bitcoin going from like $25,000 to like $45,000, right? It takes a lot more money to pump the market in that direction. We also cannot forget the fact that nothing, absolutely nothing has changed fundamentally from Bitcoin. I've heard people talk about, well, what the heck, you know, Bitcoin basically was supposed to shine, beat inflation, it was supposed to, you know, save people when there's a recession. Bitcoin hasn't proven to do that. I think that it's still too young in Bitcoin's lifespan, and I think that Bitcoin is still very much so correlated to traditional markets, but we're seeing pretty much everything across the board just crash dramatically. So let's back up really quick to the 7-day chart here. The 7-day chart also looks really bad. We broke below this low. Bitcoin did not have a double bottom. So Bitcoin heading down towards $13,000 to $20,000 is not completely out of the question. Another thing to take into consideration is this. We're also seeing some instability in the Tether market. So if Tether also goes down or sees some inefficiencies or lacks some trust, that could be a huge instigator to drive the market down even more, okay? This is what's crazy. If you guys have been around for a while, you remember BitConnect. I remember the day I was actually traveling when BitConnect basically crashed like massively. And let me tell you this, Luna's drop is 10 times more dramatic than BitConnect's, and here's why. BitConnect took forever to be delisted, to go to zero. Luna is literally at 1 penny last time I looked. What's it currently at right now? Luna is sitting at 1 penny. Okay, I actually never saw BitConnect at 1 penny. The lowest I saw it go was 60 cents. So it's just pretty crazy. I mean, I almost have no words. It's really unfortunate to see how many people have lost money from the Luna situation. So I decided to like throw a little bit at Luna. I probably threw maybe like $700 at Luna yesterday. I'm like, this is a long shot. This is a huge gamble. I went into it knowing that, and I'm like I'm okay losing that money. So I bought like around $1. I bought around 30 cents. So obviously like my position is like dramatically down from that. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to throw something at it and see what happens. And one of the reasons why I did that is because we're seeing a lot of volatility on Luna. And there was gains to be made, right? I mean, it was up like 400% at one point on the day. So, or from the lows, it was going down from like, 50 cents up to like $3 or so. So there was potentially some opportunity. Is it going to come back? I have no idea. I'm not going to make any like speculations. I never even owned Luna before yesterday. So for me, it was just like a shot in the dark. I'm like, this probably doesn't make sense. It's a huge gamble, but what the heck? I'm just going to take a stab at it and see what happens. Okay, let's head over to Bitcoin, which has jumped a couple $100 since I started this video. The hourly chart here looks good. Let's go ahead and see what traditional markets are doing today. So we see SPY sitting at 391. And across the board, most things are down today. Let's go ahead and see what. So Tesla has had a little bit of a bump, sitting at $735. We're seeing a little bit of a bump here when it comes to electric vehicle related stocks. Let's take a look here at marijuana stocks. Better for sure. Tilray sitting at $4.42. CGC sitting at $5.35. So a little bit of a bump there. And then when it comes to the cryptocurrency space, we're seeing more red than we're seeing green. And once again, like, it's a good day to be mostly in Bitcoin and Ethereum, as most altcoins have taken a massive, massive hit. I talked about buying Celsius yesterday. WTF. Okay, I was looking at it here. It was like $1, just under $1 about when I made that video. Then it jumped up to $1.17. I'm like, wow, that's a really good, quick 17% return on your investment. It's now sitting at 76 cents. It is down 25% today. Wow. That is pretty crazy. It's one of the biggest losers of the day, actually. So over here, I talked about BitConnect earlier and how this being way more dramatic to see here. I don't even remember BitConnect collapsing as fast as Luna just did. Probably the biggest crash in the crypto history. Yeah, that is true. So, everyone's kind of like coming out saying, we're not connected with the whole Luna attack. I don't know if you guys saw, but the founder of Luna, what was it, 10 or 12 days ago, he came out with a video saying that 95% of cryptos were going to fail, and he's like made a comment about it being like entertaining or something. Pretty crazy. This is really unfortunate. 22 reports of 22 people committing suicide over Luna failure. It's really unfortunate. It's really sad if you're someone that's like feeling very down and frustrated with your crypto losses. Just know that there's always opportunity around the corner, and just don't give up on building your wealth and finding financial freedom. And I think that what happens for some people is, during like the most challenging, darkest times, it's like hitting rock bottom, and then some of the best things are created out of that. So just never forget that. So Unfortunately, I know a lot of people that have, are down like hundreds of millions of dollars since this whole pullback on Luna. So just stay safe out there, guys. I bought some more Bitcoin yesterday at about $27,000. What I personally think is going to happen is that we're going to see a little bit of relief on Bitcoin, and then we're going to see one more drawback. And I think that we're going to be stuck in this position for an extended period of time. So let's go ahead and see here. Let's go ahead and head back over to when Bitcoin first hit $20,000. And let's see here. Bitcoin hit $20,000 in the year 2017, right over here. So how much did Bitcoin fall and in what period of time? So the top here was 20, and Bitcoin fell 70%. And that was from about end of December to mid-February. So that drawback happened over about a 2-month period of time. And then you can kind of see here that Bitcoin mostly traded in between like 9,000 and 5,000 for an extended period of time for about a year. And then it had that one major pullback down to $3,000. And then once it kind of hit that rock bottom, you could see here. So that happened exactly 2 years later, and then had a bit of a bump, some more sideways trading, and then it made a run for new all-time highs. So 70% pullback. If we go back to the Bitcoin chart today, and if we're looking, like we're kind of comparing the percentage pullbacks of giving us a little bit of direction on how long we're going to be in this period of time for. Bitcoin has pulled back 60%, and if it pulls back 70%, that takes us to about $20,000, which is interesting because a lot of people are calling for $20,000. I really hope that Bitcoin could hold that line of $20,000, but that just kind of gives you some perspective there. That initially pulled back 70%, but then it had a lot of sideways trading for another year or two, and then it had one more pullback. So it's going to be a probably long, drawn-out process is the most likely scenario, because Bitcoin has not proved to change course of direction and stop correlating with traditional markets. It has continued to correlate with traditional markets. It's not proven to be an outlier at this point. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to support my channel, I have a bunch of links down below. And that's all that I have for you today. As always, go out there and create a portfolio that you love.